And joining us is Luís Sargento Freitas, now researcher at the Observatorio Politico in Lisbon. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Good day. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, this trip to Portugal is part of a series of trips that Zelensky will make. I think so. He was in Spain yesterday. Today in the morning, there are reports that he will still go to Belgium. Then he will be in the afternoon in Portugal, firstly talking with the Prime Minister, then he will with the President. Of course, Portugal is a strong supporter for Ukraine's territorial integrity and democracy, and hopefully in the future for EU integration. But this talk comes together or in a sequence with the meetings that Zelensky had in Spain. In Spain, the Spanish aid to Ukraine, as Pedro Sanchez said, was his focus on three vectors. One, of course, is military and defense, humanitarian, naval, financially, etc., in a total of 1 billion euros or 1,100 million in 2024, with a focus on anti-aerial defense and the Patriot missiles. But these three vectors are first the military aspect, which I just said just now, then the diplomatic efforts to be taken towards peace, and then a third vector, which is in the area of reconstruction, and again with the aiming of a future joining of the EU. In his visit to Portugal, a bilateral agreement will be signed aiming towards humanitarian, financial, military, political assistance towards peace and EU integration. The same, we share the same view. Portuguese government, the Spanish government share the same view. Portuguese President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa has visited Ukraine before, I believe in August last year. And now Portugal is approving the funding of 100 million euros in a joint program for munitions acquisition, which is led by Czechia. In Portugal, I think it's important to say that all parties support the Ukraine, with maybe a little bit of exception with the Portuguese Communist Party, which has a very dubious position on the issue of the Ukraine. But it's also curious to note that we don't know if this is possible, but at least there was an intent to do it, that the president of one of smaller party, it's called the Liberal Initiative, also wishes to talk with Zelensky because Zelensky is from the same political family as the Liberal Initiative. So there is this desire, let's say, but we don't know if it's possible in terms of time, because these trips of Zelensky are very quick. So yesterday to Spain, and then today, now I believe in the morning he's in Brussels, to the best of my knowledge, and later today in Portugal, and then on the way, and then after that, I believe tomorrow in Paris.
So Liz, can I interrupt? Thank you for laying out the kind of the context. But you know, the impression I'm getting now that President Zelensky's visits to EU countries is actually doing more to bring the EU together, to bring it aligned behind supporting Ukraine than they've been able to do on their own. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so. Yes,
you know,
he seems to be a person that gathers a lot of support. He has a sort of human touch that I believe brings people together, brings governments together. I think, yeah, that's a very good point. Yes.
Which can only be good for EU unity going forward in terms of policy making and support for other countries in the region, which is excellent. What do we expect? You mentioned the areas that we expect Portugal to contribute to, but how much? I mean, Spain gave just over 1 billion. What do we expect from Portugal?
The Portuguese Prime Minister said that, and what is being mentioned in the media is 100 million, but the Portuguese Prime Minister also said that he did not want to go into the exact details. So it's possible that it is a bit more, but what the media is saying is 100 million. We will see up to exactly. Of course, probably there are things that are not known to the public eye. So that part we don't know. But what is being said is 100 million.
Right, and now moving back to Spain for a moment, we do know that we are talking about a decade-long defence deal. So of what kind of importance of a deal are we talking here? And did Spain previously engage in a similar now bilateral relations with any other country?
Yeah, it's important to say that this aid, the Spanish aid of 1 billion and 100 million euros, is the biggest ever aid package ever given to a country in Spanish history, which is also quite symbolic. And then, of course, there will be technical factors that maybe we're not completely aware of, but the size and the moment in which it comes, because we have to remember that this is in a period of mid-spring, beginning of summer, that we know that's a time that war-like situations tend to intense in violence. So we will see, but it is without a doubt a very significant, not just material, but also symbolic support.
Luís, now with Spain, Spain's giving Ukraine missiles for their Patriot batteries. Why not the batteries themselves? And do we expect Portugal to give batteries?
That aspect, it was not an issue of debate, at least in Portugal. I'm not completely aware of that, but the Portuguese Prime Minister also did intend to not discuss the deal to a great extent. That's also, he tried to keep it relatively secret, secretively. So it would be hard to answer that question. It would be more technical information would have to be given to the public.
But so I think one thing is certain here is that it's a difficult and very long day ahead of Mr. Zelensky for sure. Thank you so much for joining us and laying out these insights.
Thank you very much.